My name is Oakley Pollard, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw a Humboldt penguin. Humboldt penguins originate from Peru and they live for about 15 to 20 years. Humboldt penguins are my favourite type of penguin because they are in Colchester Zoo, which is the closest zoo to me, and also they're very inquisitive and interactive animals. Anyway, enjoy the video. So, from an introduction, today we're going to be drawing a Humboldt penguin basically. Now, what we're going to do to start off first is we're going to do the rough outline, then we're going to do the proper outline. We're going to code that outline in pen, which we have right here, and then we're going to do the finer detail. So what you need is a pencil, piece of paper, pen, and a pink coloured pencil. Now, what you want to start off with doing is in sort of top left area of your page, you want to do a bit of a circular shape, make it quite big, not too big though. Expand on that in a bit, then do a smaller circular shape in the middle of that. Then after that, what you want is to measure about 2/3 of the way in. Yeah, about there. And about here we want to start the corner of the next part, which is a bit of an oval shape, so just slightly to the right. Bit like that. Honestly, I've done better of these before, but it'll have to do. There we go. Now next, do a bit of just a curved line joining the two shapes. Next, here we want is a line inside of the oval and going outside of it and coming back in a bit of a U shape. Then after that, what you want is another one about the same height, but you want to like bring it lower now, so it still goes outside of your oval. And there we have that. Next, do a bit of a line down here, make it quite big. Then do 2 rectangles, and what you might also want to do is have a bit of a line coming down from where its mouth would be, well, if it was a human, where its mouth would be. Next, what you want to do is start from the end of this little mark and just sort of trace around the outside of that body shape. You can go over the like U shapes, or as some people might have already worked out, the flippers. So you just want to like lightly sketch and do a bit of a stop there. At some point you might want to go over that, but not particularly at the moment. Now you might want to come a bit up, and then what you want to do next is just do a bit of a curved line, not too curved, but just subtly. Say that I haven't done that very well, but I think it's worked. There we have our penguin shape. Now, next thing's get a bit confusing, but you see this bit when I went round the penguin. What you can do, you just go down and do half a U. This will be the opposite flipper, and then over here you can do the next one, which is a bit of a C shape, and then, oops, curve round. Like that. Now, with that being done, what you want to do is just do a bit of a like mimic of this line, but a bit curvier at the top for the what's the word, mouth. And then next, just do quite a long line. The feet get a bit confusing, especially with the toes. You can see that sometimes it's a bit weird and clunky. See, I've done that pretty well. Not perfectly, but you can just do a bit of a curve there. Now do pretty much the same on this side, but you can change it up a bit. I sometimes do it a bit like that, and I do the curve there, and then I do the toe. Oops. Sometimes you make a few mistakes, but this won't matter at the moment. It will matter in just a second. So now you can put your pencil down. What you want to get out is your pen. I was just checking my pen to see if it was leaking. Kind of is. But nonetheless, what you want to do is trace over what you just did. And then after that, we're going to rub out the rough outline. Now, with the outline being done, just do the rest of the bits that you literally just did, such as the feet and the flippers, one I did during the outline. But I can do the other one in a minute once I've done this. Now, also one thing I forgot is you might want to make a few teensy little lines to show that it's actually a foot, instead of some stupid random thing. It's a bit like I can't think of the word right now, but it's like possibly where a bone, can't really see that happening, but it's just something that makes it look a bit more like a foot. And with that being done, all we need to do now is this arm, and then I think we're done. Well, we're not complete yet, but we're done with this section. Now you can I'm just going to go over this because my pen is stupid and it's running out of ink. Ah! You might want, well, I'm going to change pen. It's so annoying. And there you go. Put your pen down and get your rubber out. Now, I think we've done everything we need to do here. Just rub, rub, rub. Now, that being done, we're going to work on the eye a bit. So just small dot, 2 C shapes around it, and make it a bit thicker maybe, as these will be acting as the supposed eyebrows. There you go, that's the eye done. Now this part, it gets a bit weird, but you just want to do something a bit like that, a few little triangular shapes going through. There you go. Now, next, now I'm back with a highliner. It's not the best thing you want to be using, but it will do. Now, as I say, do a few zigzaggy patterns. Like that. Now you might want to, on the inside of that, just trying to think of how I did this before, funnily enough. It always gets me stuck. Always, 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 always. Now, it doesn't particularly matter what pattern you put these zigzags on, but don't just go like and consecutively, otherwise it will look horrendous. Not lying. Now, I'm just looking at a previous copy. As you can see, it's not too dissimilar. Now all we need to do is add details, do a bit of shading, and then we're pretty much done. Now, what I like to do next is actually use the pink coloured pencil and go round the eye, just over it, because if you look at a Humboldt penguin, this is hard to replicate on a piece of paper, but you can see it's got like this pink mark going from its beak to its eye. It's kind of cool, but what you might want to do is get your highliner out, go around that. As you see on this one, you have the pink thing going through there. And yeah. So next, what you will need is start just going over this like this. And these bits will be white and time-lapse time. Now, with that being done, what we're going to do now is get our highliner out, and we're just going to want to sprinkle some dots, different shapes and sizes, all through this little white area here. Now, some of them may be a bit wonky at first, but you get used to it. And what I'd advise is to do this drawing a couple times if you're gonna if you want to make it look pretty and stuff. You might want to get used. Might want to make it look good by doing it a couple times and getting used to the shapes and stuff. Now, that is pretty much done. Next, I noticed just colouring this bit. Now, what I'd like to try to do is do some shading, as I never really had actually done that before. Also, I didn't colour in the... Oh, I'm bad at this. Oh, I didn't colour in the feet. I'm just gonna do that now. And there we go. So I just coloured in the toes a bit darker, just so they stand out a bit, and same with the beak. Now I'd like to try to do some shading, as I said, but what you want to do shading is go around the outside pretty dark, or where you want it to be dark, pretty dark, and then just get lighter gradually. A thin layer of really dark, and then get light, and then get very dark. Right. So this is extremely dark, and change it to like very dark, and then you can just go soft, very soft, and so on until you want to stop. So I'd only do this bit dark. Now next I'm gonna still go pretty hard, but make it a little bit lighter and make it maybe a bit thicker. Now I'm just gonna turn my paper a bit, and there we go. I'm just gonna go a bit like normal. Make it a bit thinner maybe. Next I'm gonna go light, and then I'm probably gonna stop because it's not looking pretty. And there we go! So, there's the Humboldt penguin, completely drawn. Now, I'm just going to sign my name right here. Don't know why I did that little shape there. I did. Now I'm just going to be back in 2 seconds. Stand by. So there is our Humboldt penguin, all nice and done. You might want to add a few minor details, but it's done. That is that. Not really going to add much more. Whereas you could colour in this little bubble writing down bottom. Make it a bit fancier. I might do that after this is done. But it's been great doing this, learning how to do it, and practicing recording and learning how to make this video. I hope I see you later, and bye.